What's going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 35 of the official LFC podcast, Beauty, Strength, and Dominance. I am your host, Mike Larkin. We have a show for you today. We have on LFC prospect and Sessions wrestler Sheena. But before we get into that episode, you can now check out LFC and iHeartRadio. Link will be in the description below and on SoundCloud, TuneIn, Anchor, Stitcher, Podbean, Pocket Cast, Breaker, Google Play, wherever you get your podcasting needs. Check out Lingerie Fighting Championship and Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, hosted by yours truly, Mike Larkin. And boys and girls listening to this show, you're about to be in for a treat. We have a powerhouse in Sheena who is amazing as far as build, as far as skills, jiu-jitsu, professional wrestling, someone who is going to make her mark in Lingerie Fighting Championship. We're about to hop into that interview like I mentioned, but before I do, I just wanted to say I hope everyone has a great week. I hope everybody is doing well. A lot of things coming on the horizon for LFC. We got events with Lingerie Fighting Championship on Valentine's Day, April 20th, June, October, Halloween. So the summer, the fall, this season, the 2020 season for LFC is going to be amazing. And I can't wait to look and check out the festivities from Lingerie Fighting Championship. So I digress. Now, let's get into episode 35 of the official LFC podcast, Beauty, Strength, and Dominance, with Sessions wrestler, with LFC prospect, Miss Sheena. Sheena, it is a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you?
Hi everybody. Hello. Thank you so much for the invitation for this nice interview. I'm here actually it's noon, so I just finished my morning workout because now I'm preparing for the Arnold Classic fitness competition because I need lots of challenges in my life. I like to get always some new goals besides the sessions and things. So yeah, I'm super active now.
Well, first and foremost, I got to say, before we even get into talking about how you got into the sessions, I cannot wait to see what you do in the Arnold Classic. I've always said this to you, and I'll say this to you, and we have a lot of great women like yourself in the session wrestling community and overall like bodybuilding and fitness. I got to say, looking at your work, whether it be photos, whether it be your overall work, you have a great look. You're an absolutely beautiful human being. I can't wait to see what you do in the Arnold Classic.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, so the session. Well, I started with judo.
Mhm.
I was 5 years old because I can say I am very lucky. I just born in the traditional judo family. So my father was my coach, and at this moment I have four beautiful siblings, and all of them are playing judo. So yeah, I mean the session started like I always play some martial arts. I was preparing for Olympic Games in judo. I get European gold medal in judo and lots of World Cup medals. But while I retired 3 years ago, I just realized that I get lots of fun who was into the session. So they just start to invite me that I know, Sheena, you stopped to play judo, but why don't you try out the session? Like, we people, we need you. We follow your judo career, and I believe you have a very good charisma to try or to do the session. So, yeah, that's how I started thinking about session.
I think what's great about that too is like you have that judo background. You look at judo, you look at mixed martial arts, you even look at professional wrestling. All of them are art forms, and you carry that into your craft and what you do and honing your overall skills. So I think it's a great asset for you and for a lot of people getting into the industry.
Yes, so I mean, they like not only my judo skills, they were very attracted by my shape, so my physiques, and I can say I'm genetically very lucky because I get always naturally very good muscles. Of course, in the same time, I had to work on it. So in my judo past, I was training daily 6 7 hours, so that can see on my body. But yeah, What was the question? Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. First and foremost, I was actually just gonna follow up with. I mean, you look at bodybuilding, you look at fitness. I think with yourself, I look at you, and I'm gonna say this right now. When I was a kid, like I would go into 7-Eleven with my mother. You see all here in the states like flex, muscle, and fitness, and I see people like yourself, and I've always said I enjoyed that work ethic about it because the time it takes to go to the gym, to do sit-ups, to do curls, what have you, and just to get your body in the condition that you were in, and so many people. I've always admired that. So I think once more again from that aspect, I just wanted to say you have that with the way you look, you're muscular. You put a lot of work into it, and you have a great work ethic. So I just wanted to again compliment you on that, and I think that helps from the fitness standpoint, that helps from the bodybuilding standpoint, and it helps with your craft and your overall wrestling.
Yeah, it helps a lot in sessions, in every part in my life. So people really like how I'm looking. They questioning me not only in sessions, like how I get this shape, and yeah, I mean, you need a professional lifestyle for it. I'm really eating very healthy foods. I have to cook for myself, which I don't like. This is the hardest part. So yeah, I really appreciate because some clients are really nice in session. They know that I eat very very healthy food, so they just bring for me some healthy foods. Yeah, because they know sometimes I get lots of bookings, like 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. It can happen in one day. So they know I don't really have time for it, and this time they bring me some good meals, which I really appreciate. And yeah, so actually I'm 28 years old, and my goals was always to try out myself in the fitness life because um, I think I just have to show myself in this sport as well. And so I started more focus on it. 2 years ago, I tried the European Championship where I get only ninth place, and the World Cup, Diamond Cup, I get silver medal. And now in the session, in the last 2 years, I get plus 10 kilograms. I don't know how many pounds is it. I have no idea, but it's a lot. So because I was wrestling really a lot, and yeah, I just started really growing because the guys want to feel my strength. I always have to dominate them with my strength, with my power, which costs lots of energy. So yeah.
Yeah, I think also too, just going back to the eating for a second, nothing says way to a woman's heart than just bringing them some great meals. So yeah, I get that because I'll be honest with you, and I love her. My mother was never like the best. I'm gonna say that she even admits that she's not the best cook, and she hates cooking as well. But she is just also one of those people that like when it comes to food, that's what I always admired about my mother. So I get that what you were saying about the food. But what's also great, what's also great about you is I look at like we talk about jujitsu, we talk about mixed martial arts, we talk about pro wrestling. With you, I've seen a lot of your work with ankle chokes. There's head scissors, there's body scissors, and I've always admired that from a wrestling standpoint because nowadays when you look at pro wrestling, it's more like maneuvers that are high octane aerial assault. But I always enjoyed like the strong style, like grappling, like systematic dissection joint manipulation, and I think people can see that in your work and see why the true pro that you are because you make it fun for those that you session with, and you provide a overall experience for your clientele.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, so I'm trying to push the session more on the fun way. Actually, I learned a lot of new techniques, submissions in the United States because they're really popular, the pro wrestling. In Europe, here not really. So, and I'm very, very impressed by pro wrestling because there where why we had some custom clips and the session they really want to see lots of submissions and techniques from pro wrestling, so I had to learn there, and I actually learned a lot. Now when I will be back in the States after I finish with my fitness competitions, uh, I really want to go to the pro wrestling school to learn more so I can give better service. I can give a better show for the clips, for my fans, for my clients. I like to always learning and give just my best for them really because I really appreciate they give me lots of um, I really get lots of support and love from my fans and from my clients, and it gives me lots of power.
I think with you, it's just because when you talk about the power aspect, you resonate and you also generate with the people. And I think that goes a long way just because, when people look at like also getting into session wrestling, they say, hey, I want to do what Sheena does because you see with you, again, just professionalism, but you have that prentice, you have that, presence about you that really just, and it's really also like an infectious energy. It's like, my God, we get to see what you do with sessions and people want to session with you. So I think it's overall, I'm going to say this, Sheena, it's your overall aura that really attracts a lot of people into your work.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I guess it's I was born naturally with this because maybe I always had to train with boys since I was a kid. So I really know how to handle the guys, even if they are cocky sometimes. That's the best part for me because it gives me some challenge.
Of course.
So, but actually, yeah, I really respect men, and I like to sessioning, training with them, everything, because I always want to show them that woman can be really very very strong, and I it's just no good words. How can I explain how much I like the session?
Well, here's the thing, and I'll say this to you. First and foremost, as a male, and I always, like I said, I treat women with respect and love. And I'll say two of my biggest influences in my life are my mother, who just had her birthday. Happy birthday, Mom, and my grandmother, God rest her soul. So I look at it like this: they are who have made me who I am today, and why I respect and love women and treat them with the respect, dignity, and that they deserve. But I also look at it like this because some of us men, we do have diarrhea of the mouth. We do talk a lot of crap, and I'll say that it happens. I've been guilty of it myself. So sometimes we just need to be put in our place, get a little hold on, little head scissors, take us down, put us down a little peg. So I get it. You like the session. Us men sometimes need a little kick in the butt. So I get it. I totally
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There are many type of of the session what they prefer for. So that's why I like to learn to give them the best service. Because someone, yeah, as you said, the Caesars, they just want to feel my strength while I'm scissoring them, and so I started work extra for my legs, for my thighs, that I can give the strongest scissor which they ever take in their life, because there are lots of scissor pumps. So yeah, I really try to be the best in each of part, because all the guys is different, and I never gonna give the same session service, because everybody wants to feel or get a different. Everybody have a bit different kind of fetish. Somebody like more the Caesar, somebody prefer to be down, like they careers of my real martial arts skills which I want to show. Somebody want to fight with me in the G, like to show my judo knowledge. Somebody just want that I'm flexing, they just wanna see how strong I am, or some strength test. And I mean, yeah, there are many things and type of the session which I have to give for them, and I'm just really just try to learn, and I like to speaking with them what they like, why they like it, so as I'm gonna understand them more, in the same time I can give better service, right?
Of course, and it's like a chess game. It's not chess, it's checkers. It's really getting into a person's mind. And actually, you brought up just a great point there, Sheena, because there's a lot of different people out there, and I got to say, us as human beings, we're all very unique. We like different types of stuff. So when it comes to sessions, you get to switch it up, whether it be scissors, biceps. There's a lot of great things that people are into, and it really gets into one's psyche.
Exactly. Hmm.
So I think with you as well, and I also will say this: when it comes to getting into people's psyche, it's you just when you look at like flexing your biceps, whether it just be scissors. I think that also helps. And you were talking about Europe and coming to the States, and I mean, there's so many great wrestling schools, and there's so many great MMA academies. There's so many great combative sports academies out there. That's great, and I've always appreciated that from the wrestling standpoint, because you see, there's a lot of great talents in the UK, Puerto Rico, what have you. We also get to learn from each other's repertoires. I think that's what's great from the transition from the States to European styles, and so far and so forth, that what we
Hmm.
reciprocate. So it's great to learn other people's styles as well with repertoires.
Yeah. So yeah, they like in United States. They like more my. I mean, the people appreciate my skills
Mhm.
in the session and my strength, my power. So they gonna say that it's incredible how strong I am because I have done many clips where I was lifting two guys or three girls or whatever. So there is no limit for me.
Well,
So
that's the thing too. I mean, you do a lot of lift and carries as well as like, and I've seen you do a lot of work with like Jetstar. I've seen you do stuff with Princess Nikki. I've seen you do a lot of great stuff there as well. Mini
yeah.
Mega. So I mean, you do a lot of that, and also I think what's great about you besides the lift and carry, there's a lot of arm wrestling vids that you've done. So I mean, it's the strength, it's the lifting, and like I said, it makes for a great session, makes for overall great films as well. Like I said, your body of work speaks for itself.
Yes, but about acting, while we are filming, it's kind of show. You have to improvise
Mhm.
because we get some scenario, but it's just about the submissions. So you have to improvise many times, and luckily, I'm not going to say that all I made alone by myself. Where I am now, because I have met with lots of very great session girls who I was learning from because everybody very good in everybody have their own beauty or their own specialist, which I'm trying to learn from them. Not all of them were professional, uh, had a sport background,
Yes.
but I really respect them a lot because some of girls just started doing sessions without any sport background, but they didn't care. They weren't worried about to meet with a strong guy. They just started fighting with them, and this is the thing which I didn't see before in the professional sport life because we have to care about each other. We did everything step by step. First, learning how to fall, then learning the basic techniques. And these girls, they just didn't care. Like, okay, let's wrestle. What they want to get knockout. Okay, let's choke them. So I mean, these girls are really badass, and I really like them in the sexual life. So I learned a lot from them, and I have a lot of respect for them. And of course, I appreciate for the clients because they give us lots of support, a lot. And this combination, I mean, made beautiful this life here.
It is. There's a lot of badass women there, and we mentioned just the likes, like we mentioned. There's Des Desire there. We've seen you do work with Mark Gagliardi. We've seen Scissor Foxes as well. I
Yeah.
think what's great about that too is there's a lot of badass people out there. There's a lot of great pros out there to work with both men and female. And again, I mentioned it shows with your work, but and you mentioned the beauty, strength, and dominance part, so I'm going to add this to it. I've always believed in the mindset of beauty, strength, and dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art. So I'm just going to stop right now and say that you, Miss Sheena, are a true work of art. And I got to say, I can't wait to see you just continue on your path and shine.
Oh, thank you, Raj.
Oh, you're very welcome. I mean, I think that's the way you have to have it because, I mean, I'll say this right now. Unfortunately, we live in a world where people get shamed, and whether it be just for their body types, their size, and even some people like muscular women like yourself. And I think it's really horrible because I think you have to have an open mind. You have to see people for the work of art that they are. It's like looking at a painting. You know what I'm saying? Just whether it be like, for instance, your photos are absolutely immaculate. Whether you're doing a photo shoot, whether you're doing videos, it truly shows the work of art that you are, that you put in your craft, and how you can, your overall size, your beauty, what have you. So it just shows from those minute details that we see in your work.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really just trying my best, and I just started 2 years ago, and these 2 years was really flying very very quick, and I'm just started a bit worried about like how many years I can take the sessions because I really enjoy it. The time runs very fast, and so I just try to give my maximum now.
By the way, first, I also wanted to just backtracking for a second here. You said you're 28. I'm 27. I'm going to be 28 in April. So I gotta say, from someone who are similar in ages, I think we're both very passionate at our crafts. Like I love giving people the platform to tell their story, like we're doing here today. And you just have that great work ethic. So I got to say, from two passionate people right here, I also do agree with your mindset. So like I said, I cannot wait, and I truly wish you nothing but continued success.
Yeah, I was actually talking with some of the session wrestlers. You know, of course, everybody know Jennifer Thomas, and
Yes.
she's still active, and I really really feel so many respect her because it was one of my dreams to meet her because she just created the sessionwrestler.com and which is amazing,
Mhm.
and luckily I met her a couple of times already. I really like her personality, and these ladies in the session I can tell they never get old. They always beautiful. They always so energetic and I don't know, but here is some magic in this life.
There
So I
is.
never want to get off from this for sure.
Well, let me tell you something about. I'm actually very glad that you brought that up because she was in my notes. We got to talk about Jennifer Thomas, a pioneer in the session wrestling community. I mean, another one who just amazing with her skill, amazing looking. Just, I mean, she is just someone like we mentioned who just she's never gonna age. She's like a fine wine. She gets better with time. So there's someone right there who's done her thing in OVW and UPW and under the WWE umbrella and auspices. But I gotta say, for what she did for the session wrestling community, what she still continues to do, you gotta give much love and respect to Miss Jennifer Thomas.
I really love her.
She is, and that's the thing. Like you don't get, like you mentioned, you don't get old in that. And personally, I'll say this right now: it doesn't matter the age, it doesn't matter the size, but the work that she puts into it, and the work that you're going to continue to put into it. I mean, 2 years. I mean, that's just the start right there. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter.
I know. So I just have to remember of Jennifer Thomas, and I don't need to worry about this. That all of this when I gonna stop it.
True.
Maybe never.
But that's the thing. Whether it also just applies to life as well and your overall spirit. It doesn't matter if it's months, 2 years. You work your ass off and you just keep going, girl.
As much long the clients needs me, I'm not going to stop for sure.
You're not, like I said, and I'm going to say this to you right now. I mentioned the beauty, strength, and dominance aspect. Jennifer Thomas also, and I'm going to say this right now, does a lot of great work with Lingerie Fighting Championships under the Jenny Bloody Valentine moniker. Now, I got to ask you, we got Lingerie Fighting Championship with a mixture of MMA, pro wrestling, jiu-jitsu, but these are girls that are also kicking butt and looking sexy while they're doing it in their lingerie, and a lot of great talents that we've seen in the session world are actually involved with Lingerie Fighting Championship. So, Sheen, I'm going to ask you, looking at the Lingerie Fighting Championship product, is that something you would want to be interested in the future?
Oh, definitely. I'm interested of anything where the fight is. So I mean that I think that's the best way to show the female skills in some sexy outfit, right?
Of course, and I think personally, I'm gonna say this right now, as someone who does their podcast and loves the work that I do with them, you are just a great fit of that. I mean, lingerie, and I always look at it like this because WWE used to have the moniker of sexy, beautiful, and powerful, and they used to incorporate and encompass a lot of that back in the day, and it still shows now with women's wrestling as well and MMA. And I always equated to Invicta, which is Shannon Knapp's promotion, which we've seen WWE alumni there and UFC alumni as well. So it's really just Invicta with less clothing, but it's still kicking ass and you're looking sexy while you're doing it. So personally, that's something I would also be intrigued with because we get to see what type of lingerie you come out with and just how you look and your overall presentation of your character and thus more. So like I said, I hope to see you in LFC soon. I think you'd be a great fit.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be a very very sexy combination. I think so, and I'm I'm very very excited because I always want to try out it's UFC or MMA. I don't know which one I have to say exactly.
Lingerie. Well, here's the thing. And firstly, actually, that's a great question. You look at Lingerie Fighting Championship. It really encompasses. It's women's mixed martial arts, but there's a lot of backgrounds with wrestling, jiu-jitsu, MMA. So it's really a whole lot. But it's women's mixed martial arts mixed with wrestling. So you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because also in the session, I try to keep my beauty. So I know the guys. That's why they like me. Like I'm very strong, I'm very skilled, but in the same time they're saying like you look still feminine, so that's a combination which they like. And even in this fight which you just mentioned now, we could be really, really, very brutal, but in the sexy dress. So I think it's a good combination.
It is, and I'm gonna say this first and foremost. That combination's good. Just keep the combination that you got. I mean, I'll be honest with you. We talk about work of arts,
Yeah.
but people talk about the jack of all trades. You got to put it on the other side. You're like a Jill of all trades. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
Just boom, you're in there.
I'm actually I'm ready to show my sexy muscles while I'm fighting with the girls.
Hey, I'll be honest with you. If it worked for the great genetic freak that is Scott Steiner, you got to see him in wrestling showing those pecs and showing those biceps. It works. It's a combination. It's a taunt, but hey, it encompasses you, so I'm all about that.
Just one question.
Yes.
When should I start?
Oh my goodness! Start as soon as possible. Like I said, and also for those that are into Lingerie Fighting Championship, just please, just go to the website. I know a lot of people are going to listen to this and want to see some Sheena up in there. Like, do your thing and just encompass, do your thing. MMA, pro wrestling, the whole nine. My God! And like I said, you're Jill of all trades. I'm going to switch it up and flip the script there. You're Jill of all trades. I think anything that you put your mind to, session, Lingerie Fighting Championship, you were just going to do absolutely great.
Yeah, everything. Pro wrestling, lingerie fight, everything. I love I love that all.
And I will say, when you're in the States, I look forward to seeing what you do and just training as well, just not just with sessions, but whatever school that you go to. I mean, I think for them, I think that's going to be a joyous occasion because we get to see people like you go in there and just apply and work your craft. So I'm going to say once more, you're just going to continue to shine, and I really can't wait to see what the future holds for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're very welcome. And I mean, from like we mentioned, from your Warrior Amazons, your Goddess and Nats, your Desi Desires, your Mark Gagliardis, your Mini Mangas, your Jet Stars, your Biancas, each and everybody, and I'm going to say this, in the session wrestling world, I give each and everybody much love and respect to. I give people much love and respect like yourself, Sheena. Sheena, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to actually make the overture to you. Anytime you want to come back on the show, you're more than welcome. It's been really a blessing, and it's been a pleasure and a privilege talking to you today.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it so much.
You're very welcome. I mean, as someone who's very passionate, loves his craft, and loves what people do in their craft, it's always a joy to see great people like yourself shine. So I guess the final thing I wanted to ask you is, could you talk about getting into the industry and your backgrounds and your overall art form that we encompassed a lot in the show today? Do you have any advice for any girl that wants to get involved in the session wrestling community and do great things like yourself, Machina?
Well, they don't need to worry about if they are not enough skilled or they don't feel that they are enough strong for this. If they feel inside like they are a dominant woman and they would like to fight against the guys or they want to kick some guys' ass, I'm gonna tell that they should try out and very welcome in this life, because I promise we are girls are very, very helpful and we support each other and we just try to really help for each other. We are not an enemies, like we are not against each, but we are with each other. So and guys for sure gonna appreciate them. So I'm just saying that they don't need to worry to get into the session. This is a very, very beautiful. I can tell actually, it's a very huge family.
It is, and I think that's what also makes it the great thing that it is. It's the camaraderie factor, and just each and every one of you girls do to have a professional and a wonderful experience for your clientele.
Yeah, so I'm really proud of it, and my family proud of it as well, and I can tell it was the best decision in my life that I choose to get into the session. That's what I can say.
That first and foremost, beautifully said, Machine, and I think you're doing your family proud, and you're doing a lot of people proud. So again, I'm very happy just to not only just talk with you in this forum today, but getting to know a great human being like yourself. So for that, Machine, I thank you.
Thank you too.
You're very welcome. Now, before we even close this out, I'm gonna give you the floor, Machina. Please promote your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and whatever up and coming events you have coming up. The floor is yours. So please go ahead and promote yourself.
Okay, so you can contact me by email. It's sessiongirlsheena gmail.com, and my website is sheenawrestler.com. I could remember. And yeah, the Twitter, Sheena Wrestler, and in Instagram as Sheena Wrestler. They can easily find out. This all of the pages are connected with each other, so you can easily find me out, or even just into Google.
Well, first of all, I like that style. Like, Google me, baby. Put me in the search engine. Here I come. Here, Sheena. No, I dig that because everything's so accessible now, and that's great that you have it easily linked. But the links will be in the description below this interview that we conducted today. So, but I'll say this to you first and foremost as well, and I'm going to say this to the people. People, if you're not following Sheena on Twitter and Instagram, it's a great follow. From your photo shoots, from you just in the gym curling and being the absolute beast and phenomenon that you are, she's a great follow. So please follow Sheena on all social media platforms. And Sheena, Sheena, do you have any final words for your fans as well? That's been supporting you since day one, since you first got into the session wrestling industry. Do you have any final words for your fans, Miss Sheena?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't understand.
Oh, no problem. I'll repeat. Do you have any final words for your fans that have been supporting you since day one?
I have a lot of fans, and I get actually lots of support from them. So I just want to tell them that follow me. I'm trying to updating daily something new if they want to get more into my life, my daily life, and yeah, that's all. Just
Oh, no, that's
follow me or book me a session, and I'm gonna show you guys really what's the real female strength. If you guys want to feel a really powerful lady who has some sarcasm while I'm sessioning, and yeah, I mean, I just try to push the session on the funny way. So I want that they enjoy in the same time, but I gonna make them sweat for sure, and they always get some motivation after my session. So all the guys going to tell me like, oh, next time, Sheena, next time I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna show you. I said, oh, well, you are not the first and not the last who told me the same, but it's never happened. You never give me a challenge, and they just, okay, let's see next time, and they always book me. And now, I mean, after in the second year, they are really coming back, and they actually I have to tell this story.
Yeah.
So the guy was bring because I never wear kind of like ultra sexy sport bra or what for session. I tried to wear more the sporty dress.
Yes.
And there was a bet. If he gonna beat me, I have to wear in the rest of the session this bra and tongue. And I told him, well, but if I gonna beat you, if I gonna kick your ass, you have to wear this dress. Well, he just couldn't beat me up.
And that's the thing too, yeah. Just it's your wit. That's also that helps because you were talking about the funny. You have to be like your wit and you're funny. It's all about accommodation and comfortability for your clientele.
I'm very confident about I'm winning. Like so that's why I can have some bet with the guys.
Well, I think
I really like it. It's very challenge for me, and it's so much fun and yeah.
No,
and I like to make them scared sometimes while I'm submit them. So I said, that your life in my arm now, and if I'm gonna squeeze you more, if I wanna choke you out, you can easily die. You know that? And then he said, oh, you really can kill Sheena. And I said, yes, this is my only decision. If I gonna kill you or not. And they get so much funny, but it's of course never happened. It's just a joke. But I like to really make them a bit scary, of my power. But they never get injured. Never. I swear they never get injured. I know when to stop, and just like that.
Oh, well,
it's so much fun.
But when you're not shutting down people's bodies and just putting on the pressure points, like I like that. You have to also incorporate the fun aspect of that. Well, no.
Even with the Caesar, I said like please don't do so hard. Don't do so hard. I said okay. I mean I know I don't know where is your limit. You have to tap. I said, and if I don't tap, if I'm not going to tap, I said you're gonna nap. So.
Tap, nap, and snap. I like your style. Miss Sheena, I gotta say this first and foremost. I cannot wait to have you back on the show. So I just wanted to leave you with these parting words. You are a beautiful woman. You are an amazing talent. You are a true professional, and you truly make it fun for everybody that you session with. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time today, and I really cannot wait to see what the future holds for you.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. So for Miss Sheena, my name is Mike Larkin. Thank you guys for listening. I will be back in the next edition, and just please, if you're not checking out Sheena, you should. She's an amazing talent. She's a beautiful human being. And please, thank you guys so much for listening. Sheena, it's been an absolute pleasure. I love you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.